Hey everybody, welcome back inside the mind of Matt. And this video is going to be a little bit different than the other ones. It's going to be more of an instructional video for Anet owners and 3D printers owners in general, that is, because this can apply to any type of 3D printer out there. So if you are not really into the 3D printing and you're not looking to listen to me ramble about some programming stuff, then this probably isn't the video for you. But if you want to learn something about the use of Octoprint and enhance the use of your 3D printer, then continue to watch. Alright, so before you get started with the actual tuning with the Octoprint, there's a couple of plugins that I learned about this evening that worked out perfect because I was getting ready to make this video. So we need to open up your Octoprint interface on your web, is what I'm using. Go into your settings. We're going to go down to Plugin Manager. We're going to go to Get More. We're going to get Auto Scroll, first one right there, and install that. And that is going to help that when we're in the terminal screen of Octoprint, if without this, it's just going to continue to scroll, and we're going to need to read some things without it scrolling, so this is going to allow that to happen. So it's done there. We're going to abort restarting because we're going to do one more while we're here. And it is called Custom Controls right there. And with this, we're going to be able to make a couple of buttons. If you're still like me and you don't have your sensor, which I do, but I just don't have it hooked up because I'm not sure about changing my firmware to Skynet yet. So there's actually this plugin will allow you to I'm going to restart while I'm talking. Will allow you to set up custom buttons and be able to move to different spots on the bed, and we'll be able to adjust the bed with the knobs at that point and make it a little bit easier with some bed level and buttons. So just learn about that too. There's a guy out there, I'm gonna put a link to his series right up here. He's got some Octoprint information out there, and it's pretty useful. So check that out. So now that we've got those plugins, let's check out and see how they work. Just gotta wait for this to reboot. If you're not using Octoprint, there are other interfaces that you can use. The commands will be the same. The way to input it will be the same. Just I'm using Octoprint. So I'd share with all the other Octoprint users, but these codes will still work the same way. So this is there's where we have gained right there is the auto scroll. And cool. All right, so that was the one. Now let's go to settings. In my plugins, I should find custom control editor. All right, and here is where you create a container. We're going to call it bed leveling. We're going to want it horizontal, and confirm. Okay, now right click in there, create a command. Alright, this is where I'm going to go to my printer and get some coordinates and plug these in, and I'm going to share those with you. Okay, so did a little bit of playing around, found some good coordinates and got some good codes here, so I'm going to share these with you real quick. I'm going to cancel out of this. I already got them going here. So basically, because we got 4 corners, front left, front right, back left, and the way I've set it up is that if you follow the sequence, then it's just going to go fast right around the corner. And also I added a home Z. I will post all the codes down in the description so that it's real easy for you just to copy and paste inside if you want to copy or tweak or move around or anything like that. So, but this is just what I've decided to go with, and I figured I'd share with you. So you can right click on the button after you've created it and edit it and change everything. And so what I've given the first code, the first one I'm going to use, this is just so that I can move around the corners of my bed without having to move them. So the G28 code is just, it's going to home all 3 axes, all right? And then I'm the G0 code means to move, and I'm telling the axis, which is the Z, and I'm telling it to move up 10, and then I'm telling the X to move over 20, and the Y to 20, and then it's going to rehome the extruder. So pretty much all 4 of the codes for each 4 corners pretty much the same scenario, except for I put it at so let's see, at the front is 20 and 20, and it's 20 and 200, and then it's 200 and 200, and then it's 220, and then of course the home 0 or home to Z, I should say, I just got it, which is moving the Z up 5 and then moving it back down to 0. So I'm going to grab my pad, grab my camera, and we're going to go over to my printer, and I'm going to show you all these codes and as they're working, and then this is just a kind of a bonus to it, and then we're going to move into doing a little bit of auto tuning for your bed. So let me get the cameras. Alright, so just want to quick show you. Got my buttons set up down there. Alright, first and foremost I'm going to home everything. I'm using the home X, Y, and Z. That basically gave a G28 code. So we're going to go front left. Might have a little extra code in there that I might not need, so I might take out that extra G28. But alright, now we're going to go to the front right. Up 10, over 200, and then down. Haha. Let's go to the back right. And we're gonna go back and see. Watch, I can hit the home button while it's right there for the, which I could do the same thing with that button, but this one's just a little faster. Okay, let's go back left. Alright, it all is working. So, alright, now we're going to move on to the little thing that's called a PID Tuning. And this is basically going to kind of regulate the heat on your extruder. If you're having any type of fluctuations in your extruder temperature while you're printing, it might not necessarily be your fan or your shroud or your thermistor or something like that. It could just be just a minor little tuning that you can do, change some settings, and you're good to go. But first, let's I've already done this tuning, so my PID settings are already in here, but I'm going to show you how to get to it. First, you want to hit your center button. You want to scroll down to your configuration, and you're going to go over, and you're going to scroll down to your extruder, and then you're going to scroll down and this is where your PID settings are. Okay, you want to note what they are before. Okay, and then you're going to run this little auto tuning command, and then you can actually go in and you can highlight it and you can actually change it, and then go back and do it again. So let's go back to the laptop, and we'll show you the command, and we'll do a little test print, and we'll actually what I've done is I've asked one of the Facebook support members that is a friend of mine to send me his stock PID settings. So I'm actually going to change those settings and run a test cube with his settings, well, I'm going to put his settings in and run a test cube, show you the heat chart that Octoprint puts out, and then do a PID auto tuning and see what the settings are. We'll change it to that, and then we'll redo the print, and then we'll show the results from each one of those, and we'll walk you through it. And once again, this is for an Anet A8 with an Anet 1.0 motherboard in it. But from what I understand, this is a Marlin auto tuning command, so any machine out there that runs a Marlin based firmware, this will work. So let's go back to the computer. Alright, so I'm back at the computer, but while I am here, before we do this tuning, I am going to create one more custom button here. We're going to call it center. Okay, I already copied and pasted the code. What we're going to call our X is going to be 110. Our Y is going to be 110. and our that should work. So should be able to see from hang on, let me make an adjustment. I should have moved the camera. Yeah. Alright, so let's try the center. And the camera's kind of lagging behind, but it did move it to my center, so. Alright. Okay, so let's move on to the tuning. So I went to change my settings to those settings that I got from my friend, but they were really out of whack. So I'm just going to do an auto tuning on my current settings just to demonstrate the actual process. All right. So the command that you're going to type in, you're going to go to your terminal. All right. And it is an M303. Okay. Then you're going to tell it your extruder, which is 0. We're going to set the temperature at 210 because that's what I like to print around. And we're going to do it for 8 times, for 8 cycles. Okay? This is where that auto scroll is going to come in handy. So, hit the send. And remember, you're going to do this with a cold extruder. So it's going to heat up to those particular, to your 210. And just let this run. And at the end, you're going to see a readout. Make sure you have a pen and piece of paper. You should have already had it because you should have already written down your original PID number, just to have for a record. But make sure you have a pen and piece of paper available so that when this comes up, you'll be able to write it down. So this is going to take a little bit, so we'll just sit here and hang out, and I don't know, maybe I'll solve the Rubik's Cube. Learn how to do this on YouTube. First get the cross. Then you get the first 2 layers. I'm not the fastest, but I can solve it. 43 seconds is my fastest time. It's still not done. Once again, what this is going to do, it's going to give you these parameters, which is kind of like an algorithm in which your heater is heated and how it maintains So, and since I've done this, there's this temperature bar here that you can't really tell right now, but before, if you've used Octoprint and you're, you know, looks like a heartbeat going on with your temperature going on, changing these settings, you know, you're going to see a huge difference. So not sure exactly how long this is going to take, but it's still cooking. Okay, see, these are numbers it's starting to kick out, but it's not done yet. Now there is an actual way, there's an actual plugin that you can write to your EEPROM. I'll have to further explore that. It's not something that, you know, you're going to commonly use, so in a case like this it could be useful, but it's just easy enough just to go over to the machine and make that permanent. Alright, so there you'll see it says that it's Autotune has finished. Place the KP, KI, and KD numbers in your configuration or in your EEPROM. Alright, so these are the numbers you want to write down. I'm going to do this right now myself. We got 12.66, 0.91, 44.25. Now those are a little bit different from the numbers that I have, so let's go put these in and see what happens. Alright, once again, we're at this screen. You're going to go into your settings, scroll all the way down to your configuration, and you're going to find Extruder. Go to that. Scroll down till you see your KP number. This is your D. Your P, I, and D. Okay? So mine is 17 or 10.7, and it's telling me I should be at 12.66. So now it doesn't have all the hundredths, so I'm going to go to the next. I'm going to round it up because it's 66. That's what it's telling me. Okay, and hit the right button and then hit down and over, and this number should be 0.91. Okay, and this number should be 4425. Now these numbers are going to be different. Remember, you're going to enter the numbers that your Autotune gave you. I'm just entering the numbers that it gave me. So 4425. It's not going to give me whole numbers, so once again we're going to go up to the closest tenth. Alright, now this is where you exit out Then go back down and you're going to store to your E prompt. And it confirms it. And then go back. Alright, now let's run a print. It'll be very little fluctuating. Now this is just going to be a simple print, so you really, might not see a a huge, fluctuation in a small print like this, but it's when you get these big prints when you see that fluctuation, and this tuning should help. So give it a shot, see what happens. If it works for you, then definitely make sure that you like this video, and make sure you subscribe and share, and make suggestions for anything else that you'd like me to cover. This Octoprint is, as well as, the 3D printing itself. It's just a thing that we can continue to improve and learn and kind of make our own, and hopefully you're enjoying this as much as I am. So don't forget to say something nice to somebody today, and all you viewers are beautiful.